today. 22 years later, 9/11 happened. I was sitting down. Now, mind you, for all y'all youngins, you're too young to remember 9/11, but I'm going to give you a little lecture about it here in a minute. But for us that are old enough to remember it, I can tell you I was scared out my wits' end. Now, for the youngins, I'm going to give y'all a little educational and informational thing here. Okay, so all of us that were older, in our like the millennials and Gen Xers, we were. I know I was in school at this moment in time. I was in middle school. What 9/11 is what 9/11 2001 happened to be. We were under attack. The Twin Towers had just been hit. I remember watching it on the news. I was not a part of the actual attack as far as being in the general facility of it. Neither here nor there. I do, however, remember being in my classroom at school, and my principal goes on to the speakers. I remember hearing him on the loudspeaker go, "Attention all students and teachers, more specifically the teachers. Please stop what you're doing and please turn on your TV if your classroom is equipped with one. If your classroom is not equipped with one, we will have runners." Back in 2001, that's what you called a person that ran from classroom to classroom to pass along information. As my teacher turns on the TV, I see the very first of two attacks being replayed and replayed and replayed before they say the second tower has been hit. And then they showed it again and again and again. I remember we had just switched the presidents from Bill Clinton to George W.H. Bush. I remember the extreme pure chaos that happened over in New York. I'm sending my love, my support to all the families who lost loved ones during this attack 22 years ago. And I also very, very, very strongly remember how a president's words changed an entire nation's perception of something that was very, very tragic. But again, like I said, I was in middle school when this happened. I remember having our teacher, I'm going to say Mrs. Burns, turn on the TV. I remember watching it, and I remember just sitting there in total awe and total disbelief, the whole 9 yards. I remember I had this gut feeling, literally gut feeling, of, you know, like, where's the next one going to go? Is it going to come near where my school is? Is it going to come near to where I live at? The whole 9 yards. Like, I literally, legit shit, no bullshit, lying bullshit type of deal like that. But I felt in that moment scared for my life 22 years ago. But then I had this other feeling too. Okay? I had this gut feeling as though I knew somebody there that was there that day. I think it was like 20, like last year, a couple of years back or so, I got to talk with my biological mother. She confirmed that, yes, indeed, we did have someone that was there when it happened. Not in the towers, mind you, but still close enough. I'll tell that story here in a minute. But I remember in my school sitting in my desk in total disbelief that this could even happen. That someone would hate us so much that they would literally harm millions and millions and millions of people. And kill more than that. My belief was shattered that someone could do that and have that problem with my country, with my country, with our way of living, and wanted to kill our president, wanted to kill people in power, just so we would fall and end up being under a dictator, etc. I was in disbelief that it was even happening. You see, what a lot of people don't realize, 9/11 did happen. You cannot push it down, because people that were affected by it, my family included, will never forget. Never forget, never forgive. We will always remember. But back then, I didn't know my biological family, hon. Straight the hell up. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to sit here and tell you, Like it was said on the news that day. We have confirmed a plane hit the first tower. That was what I heard on the news at when the first plane hit it. We can now confirm that plane number 2 has hit the second tower. Millions of people lost their lives that day. Millions more lost their lives within the first 24 hours. Millions lost their lives within the second 24 hours. And then we were told that there was a third plane that was aiming for the Pentagon. It missed significantly. But how many people must die to keep us safe? How many people are willing to put their lives out on the line and go into work every day, go into school every day? I remember a time before 9/11 happened, where when 9/11 happened, I was roughly 13, 14, give or take. 12, 13, 14, somewhere around in there. I'm 35 now. You do the math. More to come.